Business doesn't have to be so buttoned up. I'm with my business attorney, Brian King. I'm Neil Gordon with Augusta Business Daily. How are you? No suit and tie today.
That's right. I'm doing well, thanks.
Fantastic. I think it's a really good idea because, if you're going to have a relationship with a CPA or an insurance person or an attorney, you want to kind of get to know them and relate and such. And I've known you, I think, probably going on a decade. And
yes,
you've helped me through some really good situations and came out with positive outcomes. And thought it'd be good for the audience just to know a little bit about your background. First of all, you kind of celebrated a big anniversary. Is that right? Business-wise in practice?
Well, yeah, I've been practicing a little over 20 years now, and so it's kind of neat looking back over the years and all the clients I've helped, and so it's just amazing, really.
Yeah, and where did you, go to undergraduate and law school?
So I grew up near Clemson, South Carolina, and so wound up going to Clemson University for undergrad. And then I went to Emory Law School and graduated from there, and that's in Atlanta. And then after that, I clerked for a federal judge in Texas for a year, and that was a really great experience. Got to be in the courtroom a lot, and work with the judge on resolving cases, and so it was really neat to see that behind the scenes look at what the judge is looking at in terms of resolving those kind of cases, so.
And then you worked in the nation's capital, and hopefully
right.
there was no political unrest at the time.
No, it was relatively calm then, but I got a lot of good experience working I was there for a little over 5 years, and worked with some big firms there, and worked on some really big cases, multi-million-dollar cases while I was there, and cases that frankly were in the papers, and it was really neat to see yourself in the papers, sort of in the.
You mean like the Washington Post?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. The Washington Post, New York Times, all that stuff. So it was big kind of cases. The firms I was with, they had huge clients and working on some really interesting stuff. And
wow.
So,
Are those the kinds of things that ever can come up in Augusta, or were these kind of global situations?
Well, I would say, those were kind of bigger situations, but, the same kinds of things that I learned in those cases can be, applied to matters here in Augusta too. So, it's there's an advantage in terms of when you're in the nation's capital, you're going to be exposed to various different things that you can't anywhere else. And that's why I wanted to practice law there for a while. I didn't want to, stay there forever, but I wanted to get some of that exposure and be able to carry some of that experience down to, the South where I'm originally from, and be able to apply that knowledge and experience.
Wow.
So.
Well, we're continuing with Brian King, who has offices in Augusta and Atlanta, and online businessattorneylaw.com. So you mentioned your experiences. Where are you actually admitted to practice law?
So in Georgia, South Carolina, and D.C.
Okay. What about North Carolina, Virginia?
No. I'm not planning on taking
Alabama. No.
Not planning on taking any more bar exams. I'm bar examed out.
Well, you're covered for business people, I think, in the CSRA, which is really good. So when you're not practicing law and helping business clients, what do you do in your free time?
Well, I've got 3 boys. They keep me pretty busy.
Yeah.
They're ages 8, 14, and 18. So I've got one in 3rd grade, one in 9th grade, and one just started college. So kind of a broad experience there with the kids at different stages, but but I like to take them to parks and play outside with them, ride bikes and all of that. And, I even help coach one of my son's jiu-jitsu classes.
Right.
And, but when I do have some free time though, I like to target shoot. I like to shoot guns and archery, and, work out at the gym and, try to stay healthy and fit.
Right.
And,
yeah.
I like to learn things. So I watch YouTube videos and read books, and, whether it's about business or just whatever. And, I also like to, trade stocks and trade futures and just, invest and that sort of thing.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. Any tips for our audience today?
No, with the market's been crazy lately. We
Yes.
just had a big drop and everything. So no, I'm
I know.
not going to give any tips.
I know. Well, I know you mentioned that you enjoy reading and such, but you also like to write. Tell us a little bit about your blog. I noticed it at businessattorneylaw.com.
Right. Yeah. So I've got several articles on my blog, and I like to keep my clients and really, frankly, anyone who wants to go read some articles about law, keep them informed about what's going on, and talk about different things for entrepreneurs to keep in mind. So like for example, I've got articles about non-competes. We've talked about that here on the show before, and I've recently published one about good books for entrepreneurs. So just books that they can read and learn more and hopefully apply some of that to their businesses.
Oh, so. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last book I read, but I remember the title, Who Moved My Cheese? Yeah. But is there any that pops into your head that you've read recently or reviewed, I guess?
Well, one that I mentioned in my blog was called Outliers, and I really liked that. It was kind of about how does someone stand out from the crowd, so they're an outlier, and what kind of creates that, and what circumstances lead to that. And so it was really interesting. He took different examples from sports and business and different things, and so it was very eye-opening.
Outstanding. Well, Brian's a good guy, as you could tell from our brief conversation, and follows the letter of the law, but also I think what you're great at is coming up with solutions. You really can see both sides, which is real important. And I would invite you, if you have any questions at all or need to really get started with an attorney, just go to businessattorneylaw.com. And thanks so much. Look forward to getting out on the range with you.
Yeah,
all right?
Sounds great. Anytime.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
And, of course, our podcast is a service of Get Up Productions. And besides Augusta Business Daily, they really have dozens of other companies that come in here and share information. And also, if you're just a hobbyist or enthusiast and you'd like to have a place to share information, again, go to AugustaPodcast.com or check out Get Up Productions.